Hello, and this is the Deathwatch with another 40k and chill. So, in this video, I'm going to be undercutting him and hopefully getting a bit more stuff on him done. This is Caraxes the Cursed. I am going to get one of the Forge World Night Lord shoulder pads for him, but at the moment I just want to get him painted up. Then when I come across to get the shoulder pad, I can either just paint that up and then whack it on. But yeah, I just want to get him painted because he looks alright grey, but you know, I want to get stuff painted for not tournaments. Well, yes, tournaments, but just to have nicely painted for us at the end of the day. That's why I rebooted all my Chaos Marines from the Solus back when you see 2 years ago to the Night Lords. I guess as I've grown older, I just enjoyed more and more of the Night Lord stuff, and then I started getting really into them, started buying stuff for them, and since then, that is what she wrote. Whilst Caraxes is drying, I'm also going to paint a bit more of War Boss Zor, as you've seen from the Beer Painting Challenge. So, we have 5 topics to cover all in all. It should be quite nice. And the first one is a question by Beer, also known as Nick, asking why The Curse of the Wulfen was a campaign book and not a supplemental codex instead. Well, I don't have beer this time, unfortunately, but I do have Coke. Oh boy. So I apologise in advance if I make grunts or groans in pain. I think I slept funny, and now the back of me back here, if I make sudden movements, it has like this massive jolting, spiking pain. And I think it's because I've basically slept funny. So why not supplemental codex? Well, first off, I looked at the retail prices from Games Workshop. A supplement codex, well, a supplement to a codex is usually about 20 quid. This is, the Curse of the Wulfen expansion is 45 quid, so it's a little bit more than the combined effort of 2 supplemental codexes. And the reason why I kind of added 2 prices up then a little bit more was because I've looked at the Curse of the Wulfen book. If you looked on the Facebook page and saw me fight against the new demons, I looked at the stuff there and it looked like it wasn't doing just Space Wolves. It was doing a sort of a supplement for both the wolves, because the wolves get their own Decurion-esque formation, the Master Formation, the Formations of Formations. You know, the Formationception. It's the best way to really describe that, the Formationception. Oh, get that black paint out. Whack it out. Get that model undercoated. Aye. Why, aye. But yeah. When I was looking at the codex, it wasn't just for the Space Wolves. You had a ton of new demon stuff. You got new demon artifacts. The demons got their own Decurion stuff. You got new psychic powers for each of the dark gods apart from Khorne, because Khorne's anti-psyker, as we know. Even then, with Khorne, it's less of the fact you can't find Khornate sorcerers, but he treats them as like the bastardized children that he doesn't talk about, locked in his cellar. So, yeah, Khorne doesn't mind psychers, but when they worship him, but he treats them as though they don't exist, because he doesn't find the psychic astral plane of warfare is a fair fight. And Khorne, whilst it's all for bloodshed and stuff, is also subconsciously, or at least symbolic of the god of martial honour as well. So he's very honour driven. But hey, back to the topic before I tangent off too much. Yeah, so the reason why I priced 2 supplemental codexes up as to the equation of Curse of the Wulfen is because it's not just Space Wolves, you also get demon stuff, and they release them both at the same time instead of separate supplements as a campaign stuff, because I think the whole idea behind Games Workshop doesn't listen to its fan base is true to an extent, but I also think they're not idiots. They probably do read up on the forums, they probably have people reading up on the forums, the Facebook groups, the pages, etc, etc, but they don't really communicate that they are listening to us or like reading up on what we're saying and etc and all that. And I think that's the pitfall that everyone stumbles on, or at least gets trapped in, is that Games Workshop doesn't listen to us and all that. I'm pretty sure they do, hence why they're expanding the storyline with the whole Dark Angels are all heretics, spoiler alert, sorry. But in the Curse of the Wulfen stuff, so they are progressing the background slowly with 40k, with these campaign supplements. But in addition, I think these campaign supplements are also additions for codexes that aren't going to be updated for a good solid while. So I think Chaos Demons aren't going to get a proper big update, so this is their supplement, so to say. In addition to like all the Space Wolves, the Curse of Wulfen is their supplement as well, so to say, but they thought if they put them both in one campaign stuff, you get the best of both worlds, with the additional chance that like a Demons player might want to start a Space Wolves army after reading up Curse of Wulfen, and etc, and vice versa. So I think that's why. But thanks to Nick for asking that question. I appreciate questions being asked. If there's anyone who wants to ask any questions about any of the hobby within any game, because I know I call this 40k and chill, but it is hobby related. So if there's any other games you want us to talk about and stuff, like I've talked about in previous 40k and chill videos, then please just put a comment down below. I like answering questions and stuff. But yeah, I think the Curse of the Wulfen supplement these campaign supplements are supposed to be for codexes that aren't getting an update for a while. A good example of this is Leviathan and Leviathan started going off in this direction, I think or believe, because Leviathan had the whole Deathstorm stuff, but you also had a lot of formations for Blood Angels, you had a lot of formations for Tyranids, and it's been a while since Leviathan was released. In addition, you had a few odd Necron formations as well, showing that they want to give Necrons a little bit of love, but it's been too soon since the Necron Codex was released at that time. In addition, you had Warzone Damocles, which was release of the Tau stuff, but in addition you had a load of Guard stuff, a load of Imperial Guard stuff. You had, in addition, 2 Space Marines getting 2 not very well played, I would say, or not very popular, I would say, as opposed to other chapters like the Imperial Fist, Crimson Fist, Black Templars, bit Ultramarines, etc, etc. The Raven Guard and the White Scars got a few good stuff, formations, data cards, and tactical objectives as well. In that, so these campaign books, I feel, are more for people, or books, not people, but books for factions that aren't going to be updated anytime soon, but they want to give them love so that it looks like those codexes can still stand on 2 feet against newer, more recent codexes coming in. But yeah, you did have all the Tau stuff as well, but again, Montcat and the other one were also guardsmen as well, so you had the Cadian data slate, well, not data slates, data cards, you had the Cadian cards as well, the generic ones, you had loads of Cadian formations for the Imperial Guard. I know they're called Astra Militarum, but Astra Miller, what now? You're in the Guard, son. And that's my take on that. But yeah, I think these campaign books are just really to advance the fluff whilst also giving support to codexes that aren't going to be updated anytime soon. Now, there's also one major counterpoint to these claims, and that's when Chaos Space Marines getting their stuff and when Orcs are getting these stuff, etc, etc. From what the rumours have suggested, Chaos aren't getting an update anytime soon, unless you're talking about the Demon King books, or next year, early next year from what I've heard. And I'm not really that upset with that, but I think that's mainly due to my personal preference. I just got Imperial Armour 13, and I don't want to go, oh look, I've just got Imperial Armour 13 and a new wave of Decurion stuff just came out for Chaos Marines, meaning that I can use Forge World, but I'm going to be spending a lot more points in the Codex than I am, as I currently am with Forge World. Wash this brush. So, I think with Chaos Marines and Orcs, I will be talking about Orcs a lot more in the second point that I'm going to address. Well, second topic to discuss, sorry. I want the black come out! Come on, it's a race. Now I just need to come out. Still a bit more. Still a bit more. But yeah, with Chaos Marines I don't really mind if they're going to come out next year, because it gives us time to play around with me toys that I've also done. Now for those who haven't kept up with the Facebook page as well, I just want to show off this guy. As you can see, he's been a bit more painted. Still work in progress, but I've magnetised his arms on so that we have a Contemptor Rakast Grim with his Iron Man pose of twin melter guns in, because I thought that looked awesome. I magnetised all the arm options on and off because I wanted to magnetise them for wreckage purposes. I also magnetised the arms so that they can pop off like that with 1mm magnets inside. Pardon me, that's going to be the Coke. And because that will happen on a continual basis because of the weight of the arm, but it doesn't bother me because once it's on the table it holds firm. As you can see, it's holding firm in my hand at the moment, especially with the Iron Man pose. But when I do Heresy one day, I want to have Contemptors with different weapons and stuff, so instead of buying a whole new Contemptor, I can literally just buy the weapons, just swap them out. For example, I definitely want a twin Volokite Charger one, because those weapons look awesome. I looked at them and I thought, oh, Volokite, oh yeah, kind of thing. But yeah. So, getting back to Chaos Marines, like I say, I've got plenty of time to play around Forge World until next year, when hopefully we'll get a new book, and hopefully with Legion Warband Tactics, because despite what the loyalist fan base says of Chaos are all tarred with black brush and all the same, herder, a Night Lord does fight differently to an Iron Warrior. But otherwise, I'll just say a Crimson Fist, well no, sorry, that's a bad example. A Black Templar plays the same as an Ultramarine. Yeah. If we're going on this stereotype, Black Tar and brush of all Chaos Marines are the same, the Loyalists, the Astartes are the same. So hey. But yeah, so that's the only thing I really want to see. The Decurion in the next Chaos book, I have a bad feeling they'll give it a cheesy nickname like the 13th Black Crusade or a Black Crusade detachment, where it will literally look like it's trying to reinforce a Black Legion style of play, which won't bother Black Legion players, but if you're a Night Lord like me, or if you're an Iron Warriors player or a Red Corsair player, you might get slightly miffed. But the only thing I'm really hoping to do is Legion Tactics or Warband Tactics, because believe it or not, a Night Lord does fight differently to an Iron Warrior, despite what all the loyalists say. So that's that out of the way with. We'll go on to the next topic, which is the new Orc supplement, or the redone Orc supplement, Ghazkull. As you see, I've got the book. Although I had the other book before and it had a short lifespan whilst it was with me of probably a few months before this came out, which slightly annoys us, but it's just something you gotta get over really. Just move on. I got the book. Can't really say I dislike it. I think the Decurion, or the new detachment, looks okay, but I think it's really got to go down to playtesting, in my opinion, because I'm saying it right now. The Decurion stuff, I don't know how I feel about it. I've picked none of the command stuff. Like, I've had to play around with army list making. I've had none of the command stuff. The Council of the War, Odd Boys, I just... The Odd Boys just feels like I want to get a Pain Boy and put him on a bike and then ride him around with knobs and with bikes, and that's it. The Council of the War, people are raving about this, saying, oh, it's going to be a 2++ unit where you can have 2+ invuln saves every turn and stuff. And I just think, okay, yes, that's true, especially when you've got stuff like Magic Dog Rotnik and all these combos that make him reroll apparently is invuln save and all sorts, apparently, from what people are saying on the Facebook groups and stuff. But I just think this unit could get outmaneuvered. It's going to get picked off by precision hits. Anyone who knows the weight, worth and gold and stuff will understand that Ghazkull's the main item, but he's a link in the chain. If you take out other stuff aside from the mech and maybe the knobs, that link gets weaker and weaker until it's just Ghazkull with the 2+ invuln save, which you could do anyway. It just plus, in addition, it just feels like I'm putting a load of points into that, and it feels like it wants to be in a close combat farsight bomb. I just think it's not my style of play, if I'm honest. I'd rather have Ghazkull's bully boys. I like me mega knobs. Not gonna lie about that. I'm happy stomping around from mega knobs, monster hunting, super hunting, killing. I'd rather have Gorkanut crushing crew than the Council of the WAAAGH. Yeah, the warband, what I've really went with is Ghazkull's bully boys, warband, some mech boys big stuff in the form of 2 mech guns with tractor cannons, because anti-aircraft is essential now these days, when, especially if you're going into tournaments where there will always be a form of aircraft somewhere, especially with flying monster creatures and flyers. What else did I pick? Not really anything apart from speed freaks, because I thought what would be a good points filler. So I thought 6 warbikers. I made 2 variations. Both are exactly the same, except one had 1 unit of knobs in the warband on bikes, and the other unit was just on foot in a truck with 10 big choppers in a truck. So yeah, the biggest and the best, the bosses watching are always nice. It's nice to reroll the result in the warlord trait table. The Great War is very nice. It's a nice rule, I must admit, but the way I play, I think turn 1 war is a bit wasted, because I'll have everything in trucks and I'll blitzkrieg those trucks whether you like it or not. I will literally just go 12, then flat out 12 because they're fast vehicles, and then I want you to shoot them, because if you shoot them they'll disembark ready for an assault next turn. I don't have to be picky about 6-inch movements and stuff, because I can literally just drop them all off. And if you've got the shooting capabilities, you'll drop them all off, reinforcing the further blitzkrieg wagon. Because otherwise I'm literally just going to move 6 inches forward and disembark and assault anyway. Either way, it doesn't really bother us. The Green Horde, where everyone gets Hammer of Wrath if it's 10 models or more. This one I like and I dislike. I think if you're going for an infantry heavy army, but not necessarily Green Tide, it's going to still be effective. Like, say you go for the Blitz Brigade, go for the... Where is he? I'm sure I saw him somewhere. Vulture Squad. Go for the Vulture Squad with Zagstruck and the 3 units of that consist of minimum 15 Storm Boys. That's going to be great for that. Badrock could be, depending on the situation. Bully Boys, no, because they only count as 2 models in transports, but otherwise that's 15 mega knobs, and that's 5 per unit. It feels okay, but the most that this unit's going, well, the most that's going to get the most effect out of this for my force is going to be the Warband. And if we look into the Warband, it gets the exact same rule. On page 63, it's called the Greenskin Horde, so that's exactly the same as the Green Horde. So they already got it. So I think for my playstyle, it feels like a waste, but I don't know. I don't really know how to feel. If I played an alternate playstyle where I had maybe the Blitz Brigade, Badrock's Flash Gets, the Vulture Squad, and Council of the War, then maybe a Goth Kill Mob where I can have Gruk Face Ripper, maybe I would change my mind and go with that. But at the moment, I can't get my head around it. Well, not my head around it, I just can't see the benefit for my specific force. Like I say, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's crap, I just can't see it being as good. But then again, I haven't play tested or I haven't tried this out, so I might try this out. Well, I'm going to try this out next time I play Orcs, and it might actually be far more useful than I actually think. So again, it's just one of those things. I mean, I would rather have something like the Wulfen rule, where if you assault me, I get more units to assault back, or to charge back in your turn. I would love that rule more than this De Green Horde, where we get Hammer of Wrath. But again, I haven't played this formation, so I may as well give it a go before making a final judgment. This is just first impressions. Maybe I should have said that at the start. One thing I did like though was the Ghazkull tactical objectives on the back. I like that. I like the Dead Cunning one, where you can sort of double cross your opponent by writing down a number in a book or something, concealing it, tell your opponent what it is, then at the end of the turn you reveal the number. You can lie about the number. If you lie about the number and get the objective that you've written on the note, then you get one victory point. Yes, you get a victory point. But if you tell the truth and do a double bluff base, essentially, as it says here, you get D3 victory points. So for example, you could have a unit of Gretchen from the warband sitting on an objective and just say, right, I'm going to write it here. I'm going to say it's objective 6. Objective 6 is the one the Gretchen is sitting on. And your opponent might just go, okay, he's bluffing, or he might be saying, okay, he's bluffing because he wants to get to that objective that I'm on. And then just have your opponent focus on that combat, ignoring the Gretchen at the end of the turn. Bam! You've got D3 victory points. Stuff like that I think will be very good, especially with the new tactical supremacy objectives. I reckon 11-16 are very, very aggressive, but very, very nice. I like them. I'm going to try these. My only, not concern, my only irritation or my only criticism is that they didn't make these in card form. It's literally just pick 11-16. I sort of understand why now, because I think they're going to start stopping them less with the addition of the Supremacy Tactical Objectives now, but still would have been nice, I think. But that's just me. So yeah, I do like it. We got new formations such as the Dakka Death Squadron, which I want to try out. It's just, again, I think my playstyle doesn't really need flyers, but if I was trying an alternate playstyle where I was trying like the Vulture Boys, for example, and Badrock's Flash Gets, maybe I might want flyers then, in which case it's going to be brilliant, especially when you get tank hunters against other aircraft with a strength 6 weapon, that with war every turn, you can just shoot up the place. So yeah, I think that's going to be brilliant. But again, I don't know, for my own playstyle, I'm not too sure, but I'm going to give it a go because I could find out something, or I could be missing something, and I'll find it when I'm actually playing it. So that's just my opinion. I like undercoating this mini. I don't know. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Very intricate, but hey. I need to take a sip now. So yeah, so third point will be these. Supremacy Objectives. In the quick reference section, or the quick reference card I should really say, it says, these objectives are harder to gain but you get more rewards. I want to talk about that for a second. When I looked at those cards, they didn't seem as hard as they claim to be. What they actually suggest is the incentive to play a more aggressive playstyle. For example, you've got one objective in there which says you can score D3 victory points for killing a HQ unit from your opponent's side in either the psychic phase or the shooting phase, but if you kill a HQ unit in the assault phase, you get D3 plus 3 victory points. That to me is giving more an incentive of saying, yeah, if you play an assault heavy force, you're going to want to use these cards. which I have no problem with. I have absolutely no problem with, because as a Chaos Marine player and Orc player, who are both centered around heavy combat, I think I am going to give these a good hard try. But yeah, it was like you can get single victory points for getting the objectives, and then you can get 2 victory points for defending an objective for 2 consecutive turns. So say you're on objective 3, you wait out 2 turns, you get 2 victory points. That is mainly for gunline units or cheap units at the back who don't really need to be in the fight, just there to get those victory points. But compare that to what I've just said there with the previous objective points of D3 plus 3 objectives. Again, it just feels like it wants you to go out and attack, especially if you've got the storm objective cards, where if you take somebody else's objectives, you get more victory points. If you get 1 victory, you can get a victory point for staying on an objective, or you can get like 2 or D3 objectives for taking an objective out that your opponent previously controlled. You've also got area bubbles now of 3 inches and 9 inches. So if you're within 3 inches of an objective, you get a few points. And if no enemy objectives are within, if no enemy units are within 3 inches of that objective, you get a certain amount of points. But if there's no enemy units within 9 inches, you get more victory points, which is nice. I sort of like that, because I like bubble. I suppose I like bubbles, areas of denial and stuff. But I thought it was nice because, again, it promotes more of an aggressive style. If you go into combat with, I don't know, say use Ghazkull's Bully Boys, get 3 units, throw them out on an objective where you've got a storm objective card, you manage to annihilate everything because your weapon skill 5, 15 mega knobs. If you don't kill something in assault with that unit, it's because that unit's been playing unfairly. No, it just means that unit must have been better in combat, or you had really bad dice rolls, which I must apologise for, because everyone hates a bad dice roll. I have to sympathise with that. But yeah, it feels like it's trying to give the incentive of a more aggressive playstyle, which isn't necessarily harder, or more of an assault-orientated force, which isn't necessarily harder, but just different. I reckon I'm going to give these a good try, though. I am definitely giving these a good try, especially with me orcs. I'm going to combine these with the Ghazkull tactical objectives that I've stated in the previous topic, because it says in the quick reference card here you're allowed to mix and match the codex specific ones with these objective cards. So Ghazkull with these, let's give it a go, I think. And then hopefully, once I've got everything painted, I'll do a few battle reports, and then everyone will like me. Painted minis, Guess that's one of the main incentives of getting these Night Lords done. Yeah, play from pride and joy, have them looking good, and have people praise a good looking army, supposedly. So, we've done the Supremacy Objectives, and I'll cut this video now, because it'll cut off and I'll have a fresh page to start on a new topic. Okay, so just getting a new drink. So, my fourth topic I want to talk about is what to start, because currently I am in a conundrum. There are 2 things I want to start. I looked at Imperial Army 13 and I started looking towards the Renegades and Heretics list. You can tell where this is going. And I looked at it and I just thought, oh my word, this looks awesome. It doesn't play like Guard, which I like, because the idea of just having orders everywhere and stuff, I don't mind, but I wanted something different as well, because we are playing with rebels and stuff, supposedly. We've got the option to play a little bit like Guard with militia training and stuff, but I'm glad we don't exactly play like Guard. Oh, that's a big piece of flash. I'm going to have to... Yeah, bugger. I'm going to have to file that off, aren't I? Is there any other bits of flash? You know when you don't see flash and then you just see that one bit as you're painting. Curses your sudden but inevitable betrayal of a miniature. But yeah. But yeah, I looked at Renegades and Heretics and I love it. I love the fact that we have a lot of stuff, but a lot of people seem to think that Renegades and Heretics just want to be artillery, and I'm like, for me, I don't really want that. I want to have more iconic units like the Lehman Russes, the Sentinels. I want to have more elite units to represent the crew because on the Night Lords ships. Obviously, I'm going to have these Night Lords affiliated. And I'm going to try and base them around Space Hulks, like the clearing out Space Hulks for plunder and stuff. But yeah, I want these to be more crewmen on the fleets of the Night Lords. Probably maybe a little bit representative of Aaron Dembski Bolden's works on the Night Lords Omnibus. But the way I see it when I was reading that is, these people don't necessarily fight like Guard, but they can hold themselves, but they're mostly people who have been kidnapped by the Night Lords and then just forced to work on their ships. They don't have legions or mumbling hordes of these people, so I wanted to keep it small, veteran-like. In addition, because I also think the game 7th edition or Direction 7th edition rewards multiple small units backed up by big stompy things. But that's my opinion, that's a different topic for a different time. But I wanted to go infantry because I found when I used to do Traitor Guard as Allies of Convenience in 6th edition with my Chaos book, was that I would spend a whole ton of points on platoons, and platoons are very expensive, to the point where if I did put a Lehman Russ squadron in, the Lehman Russ squadron would literally just be it, with behind the blobs of platoons. And it sort of borders a little bit because I didn't want to play hordes, I wanted all the tanks. You know, when I think of Guard, I think of the tanks. They are the tank army. So with Renegades and Heretics, whilst they do promote blob style play, they also have ways of using Lehman Russes and stuff. And I'm glad we don't have Pask, so I can't be pigeonholed into playing Pask with a Punisher like everyone seems to want to do. But I'm glad we don't have Pask or any of the heroes like that. Special characters would have been nice, but alas, poor Yarrick kind of thing. Can't really expect the world, but I am very happy with how it's turned out. I like if I do go Horde though, and I have to admit it is appealing to an extent, I need a Baneblade. Because that Baneblade, the idea of a Baneblade trudging along with these massive blobs that suddenly become fanatically devoted because of, you know, a Baneblade is an awe-inspiring piece to look at, even among guardsmen and stuff. So seeing this massive, like, quite pun here, or pun-like here, a massive Lord of War like that is going to fuel fanatic devotion. I just thought, you know what, that'd be cool. So yeah, we have that. So yeah, I want to do Renegades and Heretics because I want to do loads of tanks and sentinels everywhere. Because, you know, we have Tyranid players in our area, and I want to also do, with the recent inclusion of Gene Stealer cults, I kind of want to do a campaign of Satanic Starship Troopers fighting Scientologists. Because, you know, what's better than a more satanic variation of Neil Patrick Harris fighting on the astral plane Tom Cruise as a Magos? I just thought, you know what, yeah, that to me would sum up that game, especially if you made it very politically based, like Game of Thrones to an extent. If you made the narrative Game of Thrones-esque to an extent of a political fight between worshipping dark god deities and giant four-limbed aliens. You can tell this is getting over the top already, but I just think that idea would be awesome. I would love to pull off a campaign like that. But my other option is to go along with Horus Heresy Night Lords, because Horus Heresy is a thing that people want to take off, and people are gearing up and ramping up for Horus Heresy. And obviously I'm going to be doing Night Lords, because anything that I'll add on to Night Lords can add on to 40k. I mean, look at the Contemptors. The only 30k really specific thing that I can't really add to 40k with along with me Chaos Marines is Conrad Kurz. I do have them. I'm currently painting them up, but I'm giving them a break because I want to get this stuff painted first. And whilst I'm painting, I want to improve my painting style and techniques so that when I get back to Kurz, I can literally just go, right, I know exactly what I'm doing here and I know exactly what I'm doing there. So then so I can have a nicer looking Primarch, because, you know, I'm not exactly going to go out my way to buy another Primarch, another Kurz to get a paint job, and I'm not going to dare strip him. I just have this very anxious feeling that if I'm going to strip resin, it's going to end horrifically bad. So yeah, I kind of want to do that. I've also got a Scorpius, which is kind of Forge World specific. Well, not Forge World specific. Horus Heresy specific within the context of Traitor Legions and Night Lords, because we don't get Whirlwind Scorpiuses in Imperial Armor 13, which kind of upsets us. Because I would love to have like a backfield unit that doesn't need line of sight but can take out backfield units left, right and centre without using the use of scout or investing points for a scouting unit. Which I don't think we have that much access to. And if we did, it's probably somewhere between psychic powers or warlord traits. But yeah. Oh, come on, just paint. Just paint. Da, 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 da. But yeah. Sorry, it's getting very intricate now. It's like, I need to get all the undercoat everywhere. I mean, people might ask why not just spray it. And the reason is because I live in university accommodation, and with university accommodation they don't like spray cans. So I'm sort of forced to undercoat these by hand for now. Gets the same job done, it's just a little bit more time consuming, I suppose. But then again, when you've got to wait for something to dry with this is what I was talking about, spiking pains right in the back. It's like I've got a liver up here and it just feels like someone's just punched their knuckles right up there. But yeah. Yeah, so I kind of want to do Horus Heresy, but I'm not too sure, because I've got 30 Tactical Marines from the Betrayal at Calth, because I bought 2 boxes. I got one for myself as I saved up for, and then Christmas happened, you get a bit of money here and there and stuff. And I just thought, you know what? Just to have the Marine count, I'll get another box of plastic Marines so I don't have to bother forking out like 150 quid or something for 3 squads of 10 Tactical Marines, because what I'm going to do with them is I'm going to have them all have Volkite charges, have them as terror squads, put them in drop pods, send the drop pods out. This isn't for any power plays or anything, because I'm not really big on power playing. I don't really like power gaming in 40k. But, oh, just getting that intricate bit. Sorry about that. Just getting that intricate bit because I can't multitask and talk at the same time. But yeah, so I don't have to fork out for loads of infantry, but having them in terror squads and drop pods, because I really, really like drop pod lists. But that isn't for any power gaming ideas. I just think Space Marines and drop pods cut right into the heart of the foe. I like that idea. I love that idea so much. I like drop pods. I like the play style. I like getting in there early, shooting a load of stuff, alpha striking. I just like the play style of drop pods. What can I say? Obviously, there's people who might call me out as a power gamer there, because multiple small units that deep strike and can land on target virtually anywhere is something that that is usually conceived in the tournament as a big play that does take advantage of the WAAAGH system that 40k has, as described more in detail by Fritz or Fritz 40k. Not sure if it's called that still, but I remember Fritz 40k talking about that more in depth, of why drop pod armies are so good, because they take advantage of the WAAAGH system with using multiple small units to virtually harass and potentially castle in the opponent in their own deployment zone, which I can understand from a perspective. But it's just the playstyle I like. I'm not really here to abuse that. I just rather have a nice background friendly force than going, right, I'm going to have these drop pods and I'm going to put these spectacular weapons here and there, and then I'm going to have a sorcerer that can cast invisibility here and there. I know it's Horus Heresy, but you know, stuff like that. It's like, that doesn't appeal to us, but just having just bog standard infantry, or terror squads in this case, Volokite weapons, because Volokite weapons are cool, the weapons look awesome, and then just shooting stuff, causing fear everywhere. I've got my Contemptors. The direction in the Horus Heresy list would literally be Contemptors, Drop Pods, and Deep Strike. Because Night Lords come from the skies, making fear into the hearts of all they fight. I love that style of play. So yeah, it's a constant debate, but I suppose at the end of the day, what would you rather see? Comment below. What would you rather see? More Horus Heresy battle ports with the Night Lords 30k, or would you rather see Traitor Guard, Renegades and Heretics at in more 40k battle ports? Whatever you decide, I'll probably do after I've done me Orcs, me Dark Mechanicum and me Chaos Marines. My Orcs are practically done. I just need to get a few trucks and make one conversion for Taurox into a truck for me War Boss's personalised vehicle. I need, for me Chaos, I'm practically done. I just need to get the upgrade stuff to add onto the infantry, so then pin up the infantry and the rhinos, because I've got a rhino that's left unassembled because I'm going to get Forge World upgrades for that. It's just buying Forge World upgrades for me Chaos Marines, and then the Dark Mechaniborg, or the Dark Mechanicum, my stuff. I don't know where I really want to go. I want to get, for me Skitarii, I want to get another box of the starter set, where it's got the Doomcaller, the Magos, and the 10-man Skitarii unit, and then another box of Skitarii, because I just want to go troops. I want to have 6 squads of troops, 3 squads of Vanguard, 3 squads of Rangers. Rangers set at the back, the Vanguard go and scout up ahead, and then just blast stuff. In terms of Cult Mechanicus, I'm happy where they are at the moment. I like having the Holy Requisitioner, I like having 9 Torsion Cannons, just deep strike out of nowhere. But again, it's just, I don't know what direction, I don't know where I want to go with that, but I just like having conversions, so I'm thinking about getting a few other kits, because one of the conversions I want to do is, I have no idea what I count this as, but I want to get a Tomb Spider, and with the Magos that I've got left over from the start set, I want to convert and like wire in to the Spider and have that Spider as like some sort of hovering weapons platform that's really over the top, like Doom used to, well, Doom can be, or Doom used to be, right in the retro 80s and stuff. I just thought that idea is so over the top, it would look so cool. Let's try and do that. But more more I would say, what you see is what you get. Friendly conversions that I want to do is, I've seen conversions by Spiky Bits where he does the Scorpions, where he's flipped the Necron Wraiths upside down, so instead of curving downwards they curve upwards. I want to do that, but I want to wire in a pilot, either Skitarii or Chaos Marine or whatever, just random bits. I'm going to find me bits box, wire it in with mecha tendrils and stuff into the main body, then when the tail starts to go a bit crazy and loop to loop, cut it off there, and with the spare bits that I've got for plasma culverins, stick them on, for Catfront destroyers. In addition, I want to get more Hive Guard from the Tyranids, wire them up, have them have like Orc stuff slapped on here and there and stuff, so it looks a bit more chunky, because Dark Mechanicum, like Orcs, aren't really refined. They're more refined than Orcs, though. They are more refined because Orcs just actually don't give a shit. They just slap on everything and just have it away. At least with the Dark Mechanicum, there's some form of reasonability. or reasonable reasons why they apply stuff, aside from just going, what magic? I don't need to explain shit. So, yeah, with the Dark and Cannaborg, I'm happy with enough where they are. I just want another start set, another box of Skitarii, and that's it. Because the conversions can wait until I really, really, really feel into the Mechanicus stuff, because I was into them, and I still am, because I love the idea of steampunk cyborgs in space, and they play very well into the background that I've got for me Night Lords. But I guess I'm not just feeling them at the moment. I think give it a while, because I think I'm enjoying me Ghazkull stuff, and I'm enjoying me Night Lords as with Imperial Armor 13. I think once that magic dies down, or once I've gotten used to that sort of magic or atmosphere that I've got from both of them factions, I may return back to the Dark Mechanaborg. But at the moment, I'm just having too much fun with me Night Lords and Orcs. I also want, so like I say, put a comment down below with what you want to see, because whichever one you'll do, whichever one that gets the majority of like says, is the one I will probably most likely do next after I've painted up all my Chaos and me Orcs, I think. Because Mechanicus stuff can come anytime here and there, left, right and centre. So we're on to the fifth topic. The fifth topic is the Deathwatch Overkill. So we're talking about Genestealer cults and Deathwatch. Love the Deathwatch stuff. As someone who has the Deathwatch roleplay game, they're going to be fantastic miniatures for the roleplay game. The Genestealer cults are going to be fantastic. They're phenomenal. I really, really, really hope Games Workshop do not miss this opportunity. They've brought them back. They have Tom Cruise as a Magos. I'm sorry, to me, my instinctual thought is thinking, not a Magos, it's Tom Cruise. Probably going to get a lot of flack for that, but hey, that's my opinion. So yeah, I want to just go. Yeah, this is the first time I've really been hyped for anything Tyranid related. Mainly because I love the models. The models are really nice, and I've always been I'm not too much of a Tyranid fan. I like the aesthetic of them, and I like the idea that if you're not really caring about like special characters and stuff, you could just have like these numerous hordes and stuff that just go out and just fuck shit up for the sake of feeding. It's a force that's unreasonable or you can't reason with. I like that idea, but it's just never been my thing, so to say. That hair is getting really annoying. Hey, we finally fixed it. But yeah, I just love the idea of like some of these, and I hope Games Workshop make a supplement for these Genestealer cults at least. Because I think if you add them into the Tyranid book, I don't think they'd work as well. They're going to work like cultists and Chaos Marines, because they're nice and all that, but I think you've got so much background potential to have them as allies of convenience with Imperial or Astra Militarum, as to say that the Genestealer cult has infested their way into the ranks of the Guard or that regiment. I like that idea. So I hope they kind of make them as a supplement, which say Battle Brothers with Guard. No, sorry, Battle Brothers with Tyranids, as a convenience with Guard, maybe, what do you call them, Desperate Allies with Chaos Marines. I'm not sure. Obviously there's many reasons, I could see it going that way, just due to maybe a conflict, or maybe conflict with like the same way that Genestealer cults infest Imperial populated worlds. I can see that happening as well for Chaos orientated worlds, with a Genestealer hybrid forming up within the ranks of a Chaos corrupted world, and Chaos Marines not realise until it's too late and all that. But I can see them being desperate allies, but I'd hope not. But I think that's just player bias. But then come the Apocalypse allies with everything else. But yeah, I think this is a thing that Games Workshop really need to explore in. They've got a fan base for it. They have, well, yeah, they've got a fan base for it, and people will buy that shit. I mean, I was really tempted to get the Deathwatch Overkill box anyway, but just money constraints was like, yeah, I can't really do it at this time. But I hope they really do expand the Genestealer cult stuff, because I really want to see multi-pose plastic cultists, at least 3rd or 4th generation cultists, and maybe some idea, or maybe some more love for Genestealers, because I think that would be really nice. The Patriarch needs to be different from a Broodlord though, because I just think the Broodlord's different to a Patriarch. I'm not sure where it would say in the fluff, but I think a Broodlord really just controls the horde of Genestealers and is like the final word and the guy who has the final say in directions of directing the Genestealer unit, whereas the Patriarch is like the initial Genestealer that infests and starts to infest their way into an Imperial world. So I hope they keep the Patriarch and the Broodlord quite separate. Other than that, I think this has been a good call for Games Workshop, and I have started noticing that this trend with Games Workshop, that they have started going more, how would you say, exploring again. Because before Tom Kirby, the last CEO, took over, you had Brian, I can't remember his second name, and he really explored because they could. This was a new investment. People were buying up. People wanted to be invested in a fan base in Warhammer back in the 80s and stuff. That's why you had Bolt Thrower with Games Workshop Record Collection. You start to have like pieces of clothing, and you're seeing that again. They are now lending the IP to geeky, not collectible, but geeky clothes company who've done multiple stuff with Portal and Assassin's Creed and all that. Portal, Assassin's Creed, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 3. See what I did there. I'm wondering how many people are going to get pissed off because I said 3. And then I probably have accidentally attracted the conspiracy theorists. Sorry, guys. But yeah, there's that license out, and the license has basically put a vote up. They've made 2 votes. What you'd rather see in the first vote: a Necron hoodie or a Tau hoodie. I voted for the Necron one. Then there was one piece of clothing I can't remember. There was a Death Company leather jacket, and then there was a Commissar greatcoat, and I thought, oh, Commissar greatcoat. It's like my pupils went wide. I was like, oh, that's a dream vote. I want to see that because I want to grab one of them. I want to convert it. I want to add stuff to it. I want to add flayed faces on the back of it. I want to add the 8-fold star underneath the flaps, so when I can pop a collar, it'll be the 8-fold path. I want to have the Night Lord's insignia sword upon the back. I want this to be like a traitor guard, or like at least a looted greatcoat from a Commissar. I just think that would just look so awesome, and it's like, yeah, I hope they get that greatcoat out, because that greatcoat looked so accurate from the models that we've seen from the Commissar ranges, from the models. I really hope that comes out soon, because I would buy up on that. I would so totally buy that. Just, oh, I would be so happy. So, what do we need to paint up? Pardon me. Bugger, I've painted up that piece of flash. So I've got to do a little bit more on the insides on this, and then we go on to the Warlord. So yeah, Games Workshop are exploring again. I think that's a good move. There's just one criticism that I need to address. Back in a while back, probably like a few years ago, I used to make the jokes about, I used to make small jokes about how Genestealers would come back before Sisters got an update, especially on Wargaming forums. And I also used to make little jokes about how Adeptus Mechanicus would come back or get a Force before Sisters came back. They kind of did. That worries me for Sisters players, because I'm not going to lie, I like Sisters. As a Traitor Guard Royalist, I don't like the Inquisition, but I like the aesthetic of the Sisters, of having females and power armour and all that. I would love to see plastic Sisters, and I would love to fight against plastic Sisters, because I would love to see a bigger player base for Sisters of Battle players, especially when you're a Night Lord and you're a traitor and you want to just burn Loyalists and like sew the faces on, any new faces for like capes and stuff. So yeah, I would love to see more Sisters of Battle players, but at this moment we're getting all these return and stuff in. I mean, you heard it here first. Squat coming back before Sisters get an update. Awaits the controversy. I honestly wouldn't be surprised at this point, but I think Sisters, they need to pay attention to Sisters. They need an overhaul like the Dark Eldar got a while back. Well, I say a while back. It still feels like yesterday, but it's got to be years back now since Dark Eldar got a massive overhaul. Oh, hello. There's your leg. There's your leg. But yeah, I hope Sisters get an update soon, because I would love to see Sisters as well fighting these new forces like Harlequins and the Genestealer cults, Renegades and Heretics. Stuff like that would make me instantly want to just buy them as a force, just to have these battles. But I would love to see other people buy these forces in plastic, so that they can do what they've always wanted to do for years. So I'm glad Genestealer cults have came back, and I'm glad that they are returning to the roots of exploring more. I hope they do more, lend their IP out to multiple musical bands, because one band I want to see do a 40k album is Sabaton. They have so many Latin words or twisted Latin words in 40k that I would love to see Sabaton just make random lyrics to 40k, especially when you've got like words like Cataphren and stuff like that. You can just imagine the lead singer just screaming Cataphren from like the bowels of his lungs. Sorry, that's just my little guilty pleasure. I would just love to see that happen, but Sabaton and 40k would just be really cool. I hope they lend their IP out to more music bands, though. I really do. I think that I would love to hear more than just Bolt Throw's 2nd edition stuff. But that's my opinion. So it looks like we've came to a conclusion here. We've discussed all 5. I'm still undercoating this mini, and I'll continue to undercoat this mini whilst I drop them. So if you liked what you heard, I know it can be a bit repetitive at times, but sometimes I tangent off, even with the structure, which I apologise for, but I'm improving with every video as every video comes on. If you liked what you heard and you want to see more of these types of videos and you want to hear me talk about more topics about within the hobby and all that, then please comment below. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more of these 40k and chill videos whilst you're also painting in the background, then please give this channel a like and a subscribe, the video a like. Share this around if you agree with multiple points that I've made. And so forth and so on. So, I'm going to leave you here. This is the WAAAGH signing out, and remember, keep on forging.